back. You're watching All About Stocks on ET now. Thanks for staying with us. Hemang Jani is with us in our studio as well. Hemang, thank you so much for staying with us. Before we talk about the two stocks that he's going to recommend for us this week, I want to pull up his report card from last time. Hemang has recommended the Central Bank of India 2 months ago while it was trading at 78 rupees. He gave us a target of 110 in 1 year. That stock is now at 101, which means it's doing really well. Hemang, tell us, for investors who are holding on right now, do you think we can expect more than 110 in 2 years, or would you recommend we book out when it hits that level?
I believe that since most of the banks have rallied in the past 1 month, the stock has also rallied, and yeah, I mean, I would be comfortable exiting the stock around 110 because I believe that still there is a bit of an uncertainty about how the interest rate scenario is going to play out, and the asset quality of some of the PSU banks is not that impressive. So I would be exiting the stock once it reaches the target of 110.
Alright, and for investors who didn't get in at 78, obviously 101 is a bit of a run-up at this point. What kind of upside can they expect? Do you think 101 to 110 is not enough justification to buy at this point?
Yeah, I think any investor who has not been able to buy the stock should wait for a deeper correction in the market, maybe around the 75-80 levels. If it corrects, it would be a good entry point for Central Bank.
Alright, Central Bank of India, that was Hemang's call 2 months ago. Remember, it's hit about 101. He said, while it does reach 110, it might make sense to book some of your profits. Let's move on now to his value pick for this week, Aditya Birla Nuvo. Take a look.
Part of the Aditya Birla Group, Aditya Birla Nuvo has its presence across various industries, including telecom, fashion, financial services, and manufacturing. And it is the company's diversity that makes it a popular choice among market men. The company saw relatively flat earnings for the third quarter, with profits seeing a marginal decline due to higher depreciation and interest costs. Also, its life insurance and asset management business is facing a slowdown in growth due to regulatory changes and a dampened investment climate. Fortunately, Idea Cellular, one of the company's strongest brands, is continuing to grow steadily and will help offset the risks from the other businesses. However, fluctuation in raw material prices and forex rates will always be a key risk to AB Nuvo's various businesses and can impact earnings in the future.
Alright, so that was Aditya Birla Nuvo. That's Hemang's value pick for this week. Hemang, this is really India economy play. It gives us a very diverse exposure through one stock. Tell us, can this be one of the few stocks in my portfolio? Can this be my core holding? Is it strong enough for that?
Absolutely. I think it has got a fairly diversified businesses, very interesting set of businesses, some of the old economy stocks, some of the new economy stocks. So I believe that this can definitely become a core long-term holding in my portfolio.
When we talk about a core holding in a portfolio, explain to us what that means. So if I have a core holding, how long should I hold on to it for?
It depends upon your time horizon, but anything which is blue chip where there's a fair bit of growth visibility and the valuations are reasonable, I am looking at a compounded annual return of about 22 to 24% over the next 3 to 5 years, and I do see a good strong visibility in a stock like Aditya Birla Nuvo.
Alright, so we're looking at quite a strong growth over the next 3 to 5 years. Now, if you pull up the chart over the last maybe 3 months or so, it was at about 700 in January. It's now at 950. It's seeing some resistance at that level. How far do you expect it to go from here in the short term? Is this the right valuation to be buying into this stock?
Yeah, for somebody who has a 2 to 3 year horizon, this definitely looks like a good entry point. And our immediate target price for the stock is about 1073. But I think over a period of time, we would be looking at a return of about 22 to 24% on a compounded basis.
So, would you recommend that I get in now at 950, or do I start an SIP? If I'm looking at 4 or 5 years, should I start an SIP sort of format where I'm buying one stock maybe every week or once, a little bit every month?
SIP kind of an approach would be definitely very good because we are seeing a lot of volatility in the market. So you might see 5-10% cut in the stock price. So that would definitely be to your advantage. But sometimes, an investor who has a 2 or 3 year perspective and he doesn't have, money to put in at a later stage can also invest at this point of time. If it corrects a bit, he should not get perturbed.
Okay. From the information that we were reading about the news on this stock, the promoters have increased their stake over the last couple of weeks. They've invested about 1,500 crore rupees in the company. Explain to us what this means. Is this the promoters voicing their faith in the future of the company and the fact that they think it's going to give them strong returns? What would this mean from an investor's point of view?
It means that the confidence of the promoter in the business, in the company is high, and which is why they are putting money at the current price. Secondly, once the money comes into the company, it improves the liquidity conditions. So whatever growth plans that the company has, it becomes easier to implement those plans. So that is also good from a company standpoint.
All right. So the promoters are investing money in Aditya Birla Nuvo. That is the first recommendation that Hemang has brought for us this week. Remember, he did say he's expecting it to grow by over 20% every year for the next 5 years. And this can be part of your co-holding in your equity portfolio. We have to slip into a quick break, but on the other side, Hemang has one more recommendation for us before we wrap the show. So come back quickly.